the 818, runway 16 right, clear for takeoff.
Every country has a gateway to the rest of the world. In Australia, it's Sydney Airport, managing 900 flights a day.
This is where all the cool stuff happens.
The most popular tourist destination in the country, 47 different airlines carry 35 million passengers in and out of Sydney's airport each year.
Welcome to Australia.
I was waiting for this day every day in last 4 years.
Mom! My son!
But behind all that,
Sydney Airport emergency line.
We need somebody to come straight away. Looks like two guns.
for the first time, our cameras have access to the inner workings of this city within a city.
Every time you call, I get the hippie shakes.
We need an ambulance.
They've got CPR being performed on a passenger.
From the bowels of baggage sorting.
When you see green, that's good. When you see red, we're in trouble.
To the airport's 24/7 nerve centre.
If you don't know where you are, I can't find you.
So I've called the police.
It's a very busy day today, but it's great because it's really busy, because that's the way it should be.
You are a liar.
She's going to lose it now.
30,000 people work around the clock.
It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
To keep Sydney Airport running safely,
We have a possible explosion.
Fires are on their way.
There's a bloke being arrested as we speak.
Hey! Move away!
and on time.
Quite a big rush trying to get it all done. I'm saying it'll fit.
To keep this machine running, staff here must be prepared for anything.
We have to get it right every single time.
It's 3 a.m. at Australia's busiest airport. Sydney's Kingsford Smith sits just 8 kilometres south of the city, and it's the main entry point to the rest of the nation for millions of travellers. In preparation for 900 aircraft movements across the 3 terminals, duty manager George is already on his shift.
Go ahead. I love my job. I really try to put my heart and soul in it.
Negative, just at the primary line, thanks.
By Monday mornings, you can start getting the hippie shakes when you start waking up. You start the clock watch, 2 o'clock in the morning. We're looking at my phone because I'm the on-call from 2 a.m, so you're making sure that everything is sort of running appropriately for the opening of the all 3 terminals. Yeah, there's a little bit of nervousness.
Let's go for a bit of a stroll. See what chaos we can create.
I'm ready to go. I'm like a Formula 1 driver. I'm just about on pole position, almost. Tango 1, Oscar 1.
Oscar 1, go ahead.
I'm on the floor.
Rush hour starts at 5 a.m. when passengers arrive at one of the 3 terminals, 1 international and 2 domestic. And with the first flights of the day, the symphony of movement begins. Sydney Airport covers 9 square kilometres. It operates 3 runways, 1 east-west along Botany Bay, and 2 running north-south against Sydney's iconic skyline. Due to its coastal climate, weather can fluctuate wildly. Extreme temperatures, with hot air rising off the water, can trigger volatile wind gusts. Sudden temperature drops and tropical storms, throwing flight schedules into potential disarray. Being so close to the city, Sydney Airport operates under a strict noise curfew, meaning flights can only operate from 6 a.m. until 11 p.m. sharp. 17 hours to successfully manage 900 air movements to 87 destinations.
And that means every second counts, and there's absolutely 0 room for error. Tango 1, Oscar 1.
Which one do I get? Stand by. It's my life. Hello, George speaking.
Door is faulty. Can I leave that with you then?
Yes.
The duty manager's role is to manage a multitude of incidents.
It's not working.
From lost passports to medical emergencies, security threats and passenger experience.
Look, in a few minutes' time, there's about 18, I think, wheelchair packs checking in for Singapore. Well, this is what we do. Every day that I come here, I try and do my best. I'm George, Airport Duty Manager, Sydney Airport. Just come over here with me. Everything is organised for them. Yeah, they know. Sydney Airport is a mini city. When you walk into the airport, when you start work and you see a full terminal, it's just heartwarming.
Look how beautiful.
Home to meet the family.
You've got to be happy with that.
Amazing.
You're dealing with, you know, between 30, 40, 50,000 passengers. They're very special. They have to be very special gentlemen to wear that outfit. It's meeters and greeters, family members, every denomination, every personality.
It is my birthday, so I'm going to Miami, and our flight has been delayed. Yet now I'm just hanging around the airport for an additional 3 hours.
We have to be very adaptable and flexible. What you'll see now is the delayed Los Angeles, 842. People are anxious when they come to the airport. They get scared. They don't know what to do. So we think on our feet. You need skills, and you've got to get them from the yin-yang. And then we get them from the yin-yang. That's exactly what we do.
A workforce of 30,000 people is employed across the entire airport precinct, from check-in to departures, security screening,
I'll clear this for you, sir.
and ground crew.
Bravo, Venus copy.
And overseeing every movement at the airport is the IOC.
It's Benji from the IOC. The aircraft, I'm just looking on the camera. No one's on the bridge.
The Integrated Operations Centre monitors every corner of the 9 square kilometre airport zone, with access to 4,500 CCTV cameras.
Oh, there's the big guy from Biggest Loser. God, he's beefed up, I'll tell you.
The cameras are a big thing for us to be able to do our job. As a coordination centre, it's just great to have eyes on everything. If you can see it on the cameras, you're ahead of the game.
Is that George?
So if anything goes wrong at Sydney Airport, the team here will know about it quickly.
Tango 2 from Echo 1.
Already a report has come in. Suddenly, George has a problem.
Did you see anyone drop that off?
Just seen that.
Did you? Roger. There's a suspicious or an unattended item that's located in an area where you wouldn't really see an unattended item.
Not just one, but 2 unattended items.
I don't know what's in the bag. I can't identify. There's no identifiable markings on the bag. I can't see inside the bag. Okay. That's good. Security 1, Oscar 1.
Oscar 1, go ahead.
Request AFP. Inward C, arrivals B, unattended item underneath the seats. Blue backpack. Also, cardboard box near the bin. I can't see inside.
Copy.
I'm checking. There's a bit of a gap. There might be something in it.
Australia remains vigilant to the possibility of terrorism. And Sydney Airport is prepared for any potential danger.
Tango 1, Oscar 1. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, they've been called.
Copy that, thank you. I just want to block this area off, okay? Hello, lads. How are you? All right?
Good. Yeah.
Now, with the box, I can't see inside it, and there's no markings. What threw me is this blue backpack.
Righto.
Over here. Where it's located, how it's located.
Oh, righto. Righto.
This appears to be tucked away. You just let me know what you want me to do.
Oh, so, Mark,
Are you going to do the 8 metre cordon?
they clear all this area out.
All right, beautiful. All right, let's do that. Oh, look, there are a couple of retail outlets that are surrounding this unattended item. That means that they just have to stop trading. Hello, ma'am. The AFP are going to X-ray an unattended item, and you can't be in the store. Well, it is pretty confronting when the police set up a cordon and start to X-ray any sort of unattended items. You can't be in the shop, so you just have to walk away from the shop. It does put a bit of fear in our stakeholders.
The AFP officer prepares to scan the item from a safe distance with a portable X-ray machine. It should detect anything sinister, like explosives.
Something like this, it can bring the whole airport up just a standing halt, and it can impact airport operations. It can impact families coming or friends coming to meet their family and friends that are arriving on inbound aircraft, and it can also impact on aircraft itself, depending on where the unattended bag is. That's where you hide your nuts like this. Radiation, mate. Got to keep the family jewels protected. So he's just checking the images, just making sure that there's nothing in that box. So if there's something in it, he'll let us know pretty soon. Yeah, pretty tense moment because we don't know what it is. If it's anything untoward, then an escalation process will be activated. Brainsy, all right?
Yeah, you're right with this one, mate.
Yeah, you're the best. Magic.
One item cleared.
Thank you. Fresh air. Beautiful.
One more remains.
Let's hope that's a good result as well. Let's go for 2 out of 2, eh? This is the worst moment. Worst moment on an airport, probably worst moment in a public area when nothing can be identified and when the police have started to X-ray things. Yeah. He's taken a number of shots. How'd you go, Brainsy?
Oh, there's another minute, mate.
Oh, okay. It possibly means that he's unable to see a couple of things, so he's probably doing different angles. So let's hope we get a good result. There we go.
Umbrella bottom on the jacket.
There you go.
There's not much to it, it's just someone's day factor a little bit.
Yep. Beautiful.
There you go.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you very much. The bag contained only personal effects. The police officer went through it. He's given us the all clear. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. So we'll just send it upstairs now, and we'll be able now to proceed as per normal. You girls are fine? Yeah, all good. 9 times out of 10, it's nothing, but you just don't know. And because you don't know, we'll do our calling all cars. Hello, George speaking.
Seabird 15, wind 230 degrees, 20 knots from. Seabird 15, wind 230 degrees, 20 knots from 16 right.
The first arrivals and departures of the day coincide with an influx of passengers, along with their families and friends. Thousands of people en masse means it's all hands on deck in the Integrated Operations Centre.
AFP's on site.
Coming up shortly will be United 839 for 54. IC Michelle. Stand by, I'll let you know. It's a very busy day today, but it's great because it's really busy because that's the way it should be. It means the whole world is moving. IC Michelle. I'm an airport controller. So basically, our role as an airport controller is to safely and effectively coordinate Sydney Airport's infrastructure and their assets. We plan, manage and monitor the use of the aero bridges, baggage reclaims and check-in counters. Copy, thanks for that.
The bustling hub that is Sydney Airport contributes over $40 billion each year to the Australian economy. An efficient and secure operation ensures a smooth journey for travellers both within Australia and around the world. Domestic Screening Coordinator Nathan oversees Australia's busiest domestic terminals, which cope with close to 2 million people movements every month.
This is the main screening point, starting from that end all the way to this end. T2 is always busy, all right, pretty much all day long, in and out.
Airports are divided into two distinct zones. Landside, where the public is free to enter.
You seem to have a couple of scissors. Can you see them?
And airside, which is only accessed after clearing tight security.
So you're not allowed to take the scissors with you on the plane? It's 2 scissors away, please. Yeah? People bring a lot of stuff. Yeah. Yesterday, I found out that somebody brought a rooster. All right? So obviously, live animals are not allowed to be carried on. So they left the rooster outside. And they didn't even tell anyone. So the rooster is out there like overnight. Yeah. So, and also live fish. Morning, man. How you doing? Can I quickly have a look at you?
Other prohibited items include metal cutlery, open razors, meat cleavers, box cutters, scissors and knives.
Just give me a second. You're all clear, man. Thank you very much. So we just found a lock knife on X-ray number 5. A lock knife is a prohibited item.
This knife is not allowed for you. You're very sharp.
Our job is to make sure that passengers and their belongings, their safety is our job. So people actually get on the plane, feel safe. I mean, that's what we're here for.
With the lock knife safely confiscated from lane 5, Nathan's X-ray operator on lane 6 has raised another alarm.
We detected a prohibited item to lane number 6.
The operator has found a live bullet in a passenger's hand luggage.
This is serious, okay? This is a weapon, so that's why we need to escalate it to further police. We got a live bullet detected on lane number 6, so we're waiting for the federal police to attend to the screening point.
Is that your desk now?
Yeah.
I'll call AFP as soon as I can, all right?
Okay, all right. Thank you, bye-bye.
Our procedure is directly to call AFP to investigate why this POI has the live bullet with them.
We've got a live bullet that's come through lane number 6 at Domestic Terminal 2.
So there's obviously gunpowder there. If you put it in a scenario, somebody might actually bring a firearm separately, and somebody might bring a live bullet separately, and they can use it on the plane. It's a live bullet. This is serious.
One of Nathan's domestic screening officers has found a prohibited item in a passenger's hand luggage.
So you got all the details?
Yeah. Get all his boarding card details?
Yeah.
So where he's flying, his names and what flight he's on.
Carlos, how are you today? It's Adam from Sydney Airport Security. We've got a live bullet that's come through lane number 6 at Domestic Terminal 2. I've got passenger details when you're ready.
The male person of interest who attempted to carry a live bullet through screening is now being questioned by Nathan's airport security team.
AFP have been called and they should be on their way, all right?
Yeah, he's sitting on the back. Attention, please.
You're actually bringing the prohibited item into the airport restricted area. This is serious.
Yeah.
Hey, Chief.
Hey.
How are you?
How are you, brother?
Due to the gravity of the situation, the Australian Federal Police take charge.
They're gonna speak to the passenger and find out why he has it in his bag.
The AFP also run a background check on the passenger.
If they have a history of either gun violence or, any criminal violence, it will be a security risk to everyone. We just have to wait and see.
So did the full pack down, he was clear.
He was cleared? So
He wasn't carrying anything,
No,
was he?
he
Yeah.
wasn't carrying
All right.
anything.
What's the outcome?
We're gonna give him a warning.
You're gonna give him warning?
Yeah, he's a firearms holder in the States.
Right.
He does use the bag for hunting trips and stuff like that.
Right.
He's a US citizen as well.
Correct.
So this time it's gonna be a verbal warning.
Warning? Yep.
We'll be on the system for next time.
Okay. All right.
A licensed gun carrier from the US, the passenger is given a warning with his first security breach and is allowed to continue on his journey, minus one bullet.
Please make your way without delay to flight closing counters 38 and 39. Thank you.
Sydney Airport celebrated 100 years of operation in 2019, and it's one of the oldest continually operating airports in the world, boasting 3 runways and over 300,000 aircraft movements annually. It's also a plane spotter's paradise. Sydney's skyline or Botany Bay provide the perfect picture backdrop.
Oh, this looks all right, Ewan.
Yeah, it does. Whoa. Yeah.
Got up early this morning to take the train out to the airport to watch the planes taking off and landing. Where are we going to go?
Maybe we'll get a better spot at the end here. My name is Ewan. This is my first time plane spotting. Plane spotting is basically when you go to an airport and you watch the planes.
I'll get the chairs sorted.
Here's a pretty good spot. It would be pretty cool getting down near the runway. Or on the runway even.
Not really a plane spotter, I'm a dad.
This is an amazing view. We're very close, aren't we, to everything, and we're quite high so we can see the whole airport.
Don't lean over. Well, we've obviously got our chairs and we've got some water and some muesli bars to keep us going for a couple of hours. Ewan's got the binoculars, he got those for his birthday.
They can zoom in 20 times, so it's very useful when I want to look at a plane that's far away.
It's a busy place, isn't it, Ewan?
Yeah, it's busier than most people would think.
Like, there's 3 planes sitting up there and they're ready to go.
And there's another 2 just taxiing that way.
What's that heading out there? Is it a 747?
Singapore Airlines, I think. I think the Sydney to San Francisco is about to take off. It's just starting to roll. The nose is starting to come up. And then the gear comes up.
And we have liftoff. I think I'd like to be in the pilot seat, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that would be a pretty cool spot to be. I'd like to be a pilot when I'm older.
What we got going?
The live air traffic control. So like it might say like cleared to land or something, and then I might see the plane come in for a land. It's so cool. Yeah. Right now the planes are landing on runway 34L, which is this big runway. I really find it so interesting, looking at the whole airport from up here.
In Australia, around 1.2 million metric tonnes of air freight, valued at close to $110 billion, is traded each year, and over 80% of freight is carried in passenger aircraft. On the apron at Sydney's International Terminal, Swissport's lead load, Dennis, keeps an eye on his next job.
Yeah, this is really good. It's flight radar 24. It shows us exactly where the aircraft is. So you can tell that the aircraft's already landed. And it landed on the farthest runway. See the aircraft? It's moving. And we are here. You can see our location.
So you know when the job's coming in?
Absolutely.
No surprises.
It's going to tell you when it's best time to grab your coffee and your banana bread.
Dennis and his team are responsible for one of the most time-critical operations at the airport.
How are you, brother? All good? You all right?
The turnaround. The aircraft turnaround is a precise and choreographed sequence of events that ensure an aircraft remains on schedule. The Swissport ground team work under time pressure to unload and reload the flight, making decisions on the run that could affect departure times. And at the airport, time is money. And the bigger the aircraft, the bigger the challenge.
This is way bigger. A lot of load coming off.
Today, Dennis has to turn around a fully loaded Boeing 777-300, the world's fourth largest aircraft, capable of carrying more than 300 passengers and close to 21,000 kilograms of cargo. He has 75 minutes to complete the job, and already there's a problem.
It's going to be challenging because my equipment is supposed to be here before the aircraft comes in.
Above the wing, passengers promptly disembark via the aero bridge. But below the wing, on the apron, Dennis is missing some vital equipment he needs to unload the massive haul of cargo.
Mate, what time are you going to be done with the long deck?
Use of the long deck cargo loader is Dennis's best chance of keeping to the strict turnaround time.
Mate, I'm gonna need the long deck for the 777. I got 20 cans coming off this 777 at the back of the aircraft, so that means it's gonna take a while for me to strip and load this aircraft.
The late arrival of two other aircraft has delayed Dennis's access to the loader he needs.
That's going to be a pretty challenging flight, to be honest with you.
And the clock is already ticking.
These are all priority backends. So you need them to be on the offload carousel within 12 minutes of arrival.
12 minutes?
Yes. Has to be really efficient and quick. I always try to have a cool head. Luckily, I was prepared with my old job when I was a cop. You know, the kind of training that I've had, that I undergone in the Philippines, made my mind mentally prepared, and I love what I do. And so even if it looks like it's gonna be hard, as long as you keep a very positive, optimistic attitude about what you do, you're gonna be all right. And make sure you drink your cup of milk before you start your shift. Gives you energy.
So it's quite a big rush, as you can see, trying to get it all done and stay safe as well. That's the most important thing.
To help make the deadline, Swissport's manager Minus turns up to give Dennis and his team a hand.
Got another 10 cans to come off the back. So we're up to here now. Each one is a container, so we've got all that come off still. Then we've still got the front to go. So you can see how big these aircraft are.
With the additional manpower, the team manages to keep up with their monumental task.
We're going to start on the front now, all right?
Yeah,
so we'll start on the front.
Yeah, all your cargo's here. Yeah. Except for this one, we're going to have to offload it.
Which one?
That one.
Oh, it's not there?
Nah, we got an issue with it.
But with just 40 minutes until the aircraft's scheduled departure, Dennis's operation comes to a grinding halt.
It was improperly stuck.
Give me a look at it. It's come with the overhang on it. So this sticks out and unfortunately won't fit into the area that it has to go in. So when they go on the aircraft, you've got to put locks in between them, and the locks, the next one will not fit that up against it.
Yeah, sorry, I just got one issue with one of the cargo, System 22 Papa. Portion of the cargo has fallen off on one side.
A few centimetres of bulge on this pallet has the potential to not only rob the airline of valuable income, but a late departure could further impact all of Sydney Airport's turnaround times.
The slightest mistake obviously has an impact on the clients. It's worth a lot of money. Cargo, you know, precious. We have to make them as definitely consistent as every minute. Every minute counts.
Sydney Airport strives to maintain the seamless movement of passengers and aircraft. The target is to keep the skies running smoothly in order to meet the 11 p.m. curfew. Any deviation from the schedule can lead to delays to both aircraft and passengers. The stakes are high. A breach of curfew can result in fines to an airline of over $1.1 million. And at Terminal 1, hundreds of passengers are waiting to board a Boeing 777 to Auckland.
So I've got 2 pallets coming now, and that includes that one with the overhang by looks things.
Below the wing, the ground crew has a problem with a bulging piece of cargo that threatens to hold up the aircraft.
This is supposed to be flat. Flat should be about here, so you can see how much it overhangs.
This could be a real problem, eh?
Yeah, it can.
The bulging pallet won't fit safely into the cargo hold. The ground crew has a decision to make.
Well,
Leave it behind, which means a financial loss to the airline, or delay the departure and impact other airport movements while they find a solution.
So the only way we could probably get away with that is if we put this one into position 13P. Basically, move that pallet, which has got the overhang, move it to the front, and then bring these ones down. 13P, you've got that extra gap. That's what I'm thinking.
With just 21 minutes before the flight is due to depart, Swissport manager Minus and his lead loader Dennis do some fast calculations on a reconfiguration of the cargo.
So you can use this one to move it. Well, we should be able to fit it on the way we've done it, because we've got one area that has that little gap, and that's what we're hoping will work in this case.
But changing the order of the containers in the hold has serious implications.
It's a bit of a difference, 600 kilos difference, right?
To avoid interference with the aircraft's centre of gravity, each pallet must be loaded to prevent movement and ensure the safe distribution of weight on the aircraft.
We might get lucky, but we just got to check with load control. It all depends on the weight. You know, it might throw it off balance.
It's up to Dennis to put the plan in motion.
I just spoke to load control, so she's happy to move the cargo.
All right, let's go.
16 minutes left to finish loading the aircraft. The stubborn cargo is still a problem. Will it fit on the loader?
Get it up. Yeah, up. We'll get it in there. Don't worry. See, look. So at least we've got it on the aircraft now. We've got it on the aircraft.
The test now is to make sure the next container has enough clearance to slide in beside the bulging one.
You've got one going there and one going here. Should fit, I'm pretty confident. Make me look like a fool if it doesn't.
If it doesn't fit, the offending pallet must be offloaded.
Gotta make it go. We have to.
Any precious moments lost will most certainly delay the departure.
Ethan, you can do it. Yeah, beauty. Oh, we got it in. No, I'm not doing that again. That was tight fit, wasn't it? Well done, boys. All right, come on. We're burning daylight.
With the final piece of the puzzle in place, the Boeing 777 is ready for pushback. On time and with all its cargo and passengers safely on board.
did pretty well considering it was pretty challenging in the beginning. It's like a game of basketball. Your opponents may be winning maybe on the first half, but as long as you got the second half and you got enough time to do it, you were able to rectify it. And guess what? We managed to get everything loaded, full fit, and we are good to go home. Just another day at Sydney International Airport. I love it.
The afternoon rush is well underway at Sydney's 3 terminals.
And
just follow that gentleman, all right? Sydney Airport, Mel speaking. How may I help you? My name's Mel Mazzio. I've been with Sydney Airport now for 3 months. Prior to that, I was a painter and decorator, so a little bit of a sea change. However, I do come from the airport environment. I did work for Qantas for 25 years here at International. Prior to that, I was a hairdresser. I did 5 years of hairdressing. Would I go back to hairdressing? Not in a million years. I think I'm meant to be at the airport. But now I'm working as a terminal supervisor for Sydney Airport, which is amazing. I'm just so proud and honoured to have this role.
Terminal supervisors need to monitor maintenance activity,
All right, guys.
No worries, all right.
See you later.
manage passenger experience,
Yeah, just coming around that way. Thank you.
and are the first point of contact in an emergency.
Are you okay just sitting here for now? Time being, you all right? You comfortable? Yep. Yep. Good.
Hi. Hey, Millie.
Hey, George, how you going?
Welcome, my friend.
Thank you.
Okay. For the Savo, right?
And today, duty manager George keeps an eye on the newcomer.
Mel's been on my team as a terminal supervisor.
Hi, how are you?
And he's fitted in unbelievably well. United 839 is coming in now as the United 3016. And when he's on shift, I get him over and make sure that he's okay.
Fantastic.
All right, Mel, thank you.
We shall talk.
Yeah, I'll give you a call. If you need anything, give us a buzz, eh?
Thanks, George.
All right, mate.
See ya.
Ciao.
Mel's first job on the shift is to check that emergency equipment is ready if needed.
This one seems to be flashing, which is good.
There are 48 of these automated external defibrillators installed across all 3 terminals. Each year, around 10 people suffer a cardiac arrest at Sydney Airport.
And then our first aid kits, which this one has been secured, so no one's tampered with it, making sure that they're maintained and they're stocked. Good day for me is when there are no medical emergencies to attend to.
Medical incidents at the airport are commonplace, and the Integrated Operations Centre answers every emergency call.
Emergency line, Michelle speaking. How can I help?
While many originate from the terminals, some occur mid-flight.
Any more information you can get us before they get here, that'd be great. I'll call an ambulance now. Hi, team. Please be advised, we have an inbound medical.
Tango 1, Charlie 1.
So, 67-year-old female, vomiting and having blood in the vomit, nauseous, and call the ambos. We don't know if she's conscious and breathing. Hoping to get an update from NZ soon.
Fantastic. ETA is 1825.
Yes, please, base 61. Thank you.
Thank you.
QR 908 from Doha is due to land in about 30 minutes. A medical emergency on board gives the flight priority landing.
We've alerted all emergency services, so we're just now prepared and waiting for the arrival. You've got to treat everything as if it's worst case scenario.
The worrying part is we're not quite sure whether she's conscious or unconscious, so, we just need to be ready to respond for anything. Good, how are you? So I have a couple of visitors with me here, St John's. We've got these guys who have everything ready to go. They've got oxygen, they've got the defib ready, so it does sound quite worrying.
St John Ambulance are the on-site healthcare team for initial response and first aid support.
Good evening, Sydney Airport. Mel speaking.
Mel, it's just me. Because they can't tell us whether she's unconscious or not unconscious, I'm going to come up as well.
Okay, George. We'll see you at gate 61.
Okay, chopper. In a normal medical, I would not attend. However, because we don't know the circumstances and how this lady is, this is why I'm attending this job as well as the terminal supervisor.
If they're in and out of consciousness, definitely time critical.
Bring the ambos straight to the bay 61, and we'll get Certis to meet them on the apron. I'm concerned about that this lady may have had a bad turn on board the aircraft. I've seen too many of these shift sideways. I'm not really sure what's going to happen.
As the sun goes down, Sydney Airport enters the final hours before the strict curfew is in place. Between 6 a.m. and 11 p.m, 120,000 passengers will have passed through the domestic and international terminals.
Sydney Airport emergency line, how can we help?
And as some of the final flights of the day touch down, the Integrated Operations Centre is monitoring the arrival of a sick female passenger on board a Qatar Airways flight.
Hey.
G'day.
Hey, Mel.
Hey, George.
I'll leave you to it, but then I'll coordinate the response. So I'll do the cops, I'll do the ambos and everything. I'll speak to the IOC. I'll get the AFP here too. But I've got Menzies to find out more info because we have to know whether she's conscious or unconscious.
Runway 16 right to land.
As the flight approaches the runway, news from the aircraft is not good.
Tingling in arm and leg, nausea and...
Yeah. Melly?
Yes.
So, tingling in the arm, tightness in the chest,
Blood in the vomit. Can't confirm whether she's awake or not now.
What we've done, we've deployed the emergency services.
So gate 27 is an access gate onto the airfield where we will give you entry and we will escort the ambulance to the arriving aircraft. It'll probably get here just before the aircraft arrives. That's a very good response.
You might have seen the international airport. It's quite a vast piece of real estate. When it comes to the ambulance, so we can give them airside access.
You just heard that they are coming through gate 27 as we speak. Thanks very much.
The ambulance is given access to the airfield so it can navigate its way to the Qatar flight.
If you can bring that to lift 33.
We will have one of our safety cars escort them. It's very handy when it comes to potentially life-threatening scenarios.
Tango 1, copy.
Mel?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to intercept the ambos, give them a bit of a rundown from the lift to here? Whatever we know, just tell them.
They're being escorted around now by the security car.
This would be my first cardiac emergency.
We were told in our course by our instructor that if you're going to have a heart attack at Sydney, then the best place to have it is at Sydney Airport because the response time is so quick that your chances of survival are great. So I want to make sure that I respond as quickly as I can. I don't want to let them down.
Oscar 1, Tango 1.
Go ahead.
Paramedics are now on site. They'll be with me very soon.
Thanks, Melly.
Give you a brief as we go along if you haven't already got the details.
Before anyone can disembark, the paramedics are given access to the patient.
It's awful. You just hope that they're just breathing and they've got help on board, and we just do everything we can and hope there's a good result at the end.
After several minutes inside the aircraft, the medical team emerges with the sick passenger.
St John's ambulance people coming off, and hopefully that was our passenger that just walked off.
Are you going to do it from the others? Yeah. Ah, beautiful, George.
The patient's condition appears to be better than expected. But details of her symptoms are sketchy because she doesn't speak English.
We're just trying to work out whether she wants to go to hospital or not. Melio?
Mel, are you able to translate? Or do you want the girl to do it?
That's okay.
All right, you're right.
There's a bit of a language barrier. We're just trying to work through that.
There is basically just take it to hospital because obviously we can't really do that. Also the test here.
Definitely going?
Yeah, definitely. She's definitely going.
The inside of an ambulance may not be the best introduction to Sydney, but a thorough checkup in a nearby hospital is certainly the safest option for this new arrival. As the curfew looms, So too does the end of shift for Mel.
Yeah, just an update on that medical. Passenger disembarked the aircraft finally. She made her own way down to the ambulance, and we'll get an ambulance destination very shortly from Security 8.
I've got another medical happening. Terminal 1, arrivals level, possible stroke.
Okay, so we've got a passenger with a suspected stroke, 76-year-old male.
We're calling the ambulance now.
And where is he at the moment? He's sat down, is he?
Kind of where the meeting point is.
I've got someone coming down. He should be there in the next 25 seconds.
We've just got a notification of another medical. This time it's landside, and it's a possible stroke.
We've received a phone call about 5 minutes ago. No, we've got a first aider on the way, so they should be there shortly.
The elderly passenger made it through customs and collected his bags before meeting his nephew, who immediately called the airport emergency line.
Copy, McDonald's. Thank you.
Nothing out the door?
Yep.
What camera number?
202.
Camera 202.
Got on site.
The symptoms for a stroke: losing strength in an arm, speech slurring, and then time is super critical. So the faster a response for a possible stroke, the greater the chance of recovery straight away.
Yeah, like he was like sort of slouching to one side.
Yeah.
They said, you know, he's had a couple of drinks. It's not in his nature. He's not a drinker.
He's not a drinker.
He doesn't drink at all.
Okay.
So as soon as he said that, I know he's had a stroke previously.
Yes, understood.
And as soon as I looked at him, I was like, man, has he had a stroke or something?
We've called an ambulance.
Thank you so much.
So they're on their way.
Yeah.
So as soon as they come, they'll obviously assess him. I'd say they take him to hospital.
I think I've done the right thing.
You have done the right. No. Listen.
I didn't want to take him like that.
Listen, mate. You never take any risks.
No.
Especially when you know your uncle.
Yeah, look, we've got one ambulance that was tied up with that other one. You know, luckily for us, there's quite a few ambulances around in Sydney.
You said Terminal 1, is that right?
Correct. Just inside the building. Yeah. Thank you. Cheers. Bye-bye.
With a fast ambulance response time, the paramedics are on the scene quickly to assess him. A suspected stroke is a high priority, so hospital is his next stop.
You've picked up a couple of signs and you've done the best thing, because they'll do the test now. It's easy, my friend.
Yeah.
No, that's no problems at all.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it, guys.
Just be careful. Just be careful. Mel, you go with Kurt.
Yeah.
I'll go with the nephew, okay? Good man, mate. That's it. You're in good hands.
Follow the leader. Let's go, boys. We're going to be going off to St George Hospital, I believe. We'll wait and see how he goes.
But there's one last beat to this patient's story.
Do you know what city you're in now?
A special connection to Sydney Airport.
He did seem like a really nice guy. Worked for Qantas for a number of years, a pastry chef, so I hope he's back making those cannoli very soon. Just about the end of my shift. Good to see the end of it. 2 medicals, one after the other. Got a lot of reporting to do tonight.
As the ambulance departs, so too does the last flight out. It's 11:02 p.m. Curfew is in place, and all is quiet in the airspace above Sydney. In 7 hours from now, Sydney's gateway to the world will reopen for a brand new day, dictated by the clock and orchestrated by its people, until the next curfew.